Princess Farmer's aesthetic will be like Marmite for some gamers, because it makes no bones or apologies for being cute bunnies doing cute things in a cute story, basically having collectibles as hair dye and glitter. And if you're okay with that, and to be fair, the game is very well written in this regard, you are in for a treat, because whilst there is a visual novel element to the story and there are lots of dialogue choices to choose from, it's done in a way that constantly does a little piece of story and a match 3 game, little piece of story, match 3 game. So you're never more than, say, like 60-90 seconds away from your next piece of gameplay. And I really like the way how Princess Farmer feeds that in. So if you aren't too turned on by the fact that it's going to be ultra cute and ultra like adorable charming, then that's fine. The main portion of the gameplay that you'll be spending time in is the match 3 style of the game. And to me, this reminds me of slot machines, because you're basically harvesting vegetables by matching them in lines of 3, vertically, horizontally, or diagonally. And you do this by pulling vegetables up, and you can have up to 5 in your stack as the farmer as you move from column to column, and then you can press them back down again to shove the vegetables back down and plant them in. How this works is that everything can be comboed. So as obviously vegetables get removed, new vegetables get planted at the bottom and go up. And it took me a couple of goes to get used to the fact that it's vegetables ascending, because I'm so programmed in my brain to have things coming from the top of the screen down. But once that clicks, I was off and away. The beauty of this is that you can say up front in each of the 9 chapters in the game what style of gameplay you would like to go for, and I really like this idea. You can choose Action Bunny, which is where a lot of the goals that you have are get the highest score within a time limit, or smash a certain amount of rocks, or harvest a certain type of vegetables like daikon or potatoes or carrots, whatever it is that you're going for, within a certain time period. And it's almost like it removes the puzzle element, because you can just spin the vegetables up and down and spin them around, and combos will like ding 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 out from nowhere, and it's quite visceral and high speed, and you don't have to think too much. However, you can choose Puzzle Bunny, and what that does is it gets rid of most of those kind of speed runs and asks you to get, say, a certain amount of points in a certain amount of moves, or harvest a certain type of vegetable a certain amount of times within a certain amount of moves. And it removes the reactionary stuff and allows you to focus on each move mattering without the fear of a time penalty. You can then also go for Balance Bunny, which is a combo of both, and then levels will change depending on what it is that you're after. In addition of that, the thing that also kept me coming back for more and constantly playing Princess Farmer through its runtime is that it does variants of this match 3 puzzle throughout. So there'll be like big blocks to start off with, and you have lots of different rows. Then it will have like very narrow trenches, so that you are dealing with like rows of 3 or 4, and so you have very little room for manoeuvre, so you're constantly moving things up and down like a slot machine. Then it will have areas where like there's dirt in between. So pieces of like rows of vegetables will go missing, and you have to remember what's there and keep cycling them around. Then there'll be like bonus areas that constantly move around. So if you want to get the high scores and really get like the perfect scores for extra points, then you want to keep your matches inside the bonus area, and that might move around. Similarly, there's then like the danger version of that, which then removes points if you hit things in the danger zone. So then you've got to make sure that you're kind of moving back and forth. There then becomes like a versus mode as well, where the AI will come and battle you, and you'll get requests from various animals or characters in the game. So it will say like first to 15 carrots, so then you'll race to get the carrots, and then whoever does that first kind of wins that, and then you'll keep going, and it's the first to complete 4 requests will win the versus match. All of this is also playable in Steam Remote Play or local co-op. So I didn't necessarily try out the co-op variant of it, but I could see that being quite satisfying especially if you're working together, because it's very quick to rack up a combo on this, and because it's so rewarding in the feedback that it gives, you'll have like explosions and cute like ding 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 dings as everything's going along, and it feels like you're winning in Vegas as it comes off, so that's really great. As you progress through the game, more styles of vegetables appear, which means that you've got more things to juggle, and it means that the lucky randomisation of combo after combo becomes more difficult to achieve, and so skill gets more and more weight to the game as you progress. The story itself is heavily character driven, but it's about the relationships you have with that character more than the overarching plot, I would say, is what drew me in. And that's because about every third text screen you have a dialogue choice, and whilst they're mostly varying between excited, cute, stupid, ditzy, embarrassed, depending on how you respond will change the character relationship that you have. And at the end of each episode of the game, and there's 9 in total, when you go to bed at the end of the day, you'll get like a list through of what are your relationship statuses with each character that you've met. The idea is to get them to BFF status, because they then give you extra hair dye and unlockable glitter that you can customise your character with. Of course it is, you're a princess farmer, for goodness sake. But I found it was just really interesting is that it just shows that kind of progression over time, because not everyone warms to you straight away, and so you can kind of pluck away at things. And yes, you have like adversaries who are trying to like conquer the world or something like that, but it's done in a cutesy children's TV show where you can just try and like be, I'm really sorry that I'm going to have to defeat you now, and be like super cute in that way. And I just found it quite endearing, but I know it won't be everyone's cup of tea. If I had 2 complaints, the first one would be I would really like that versus mode available for multiple players to get involved with. I think that's a real missed opportunity, because there is a good competitive game there if you want it to be, but that doesn't seem to be part of Princess Farmer's ethos, but it would absolutely kill as a good game. Secondly, and this is going to sound really odd, the font is difficult to read. And this is specifically around numbers and a couple of the letters. But the scoreboard in the top left-hand side of the screen, I found really difficult to read. The number 4 does not look like number 4 at all. And I found it really odd, because I always go in and check out the accessibility options for games, and Princess Farmer has quite a lot. So if you struggle with pink, you can turn off the pink of the text, for example. All of the flashing and vibrations are turn offable. Same with all of the sound and all of that kind of stuff. So there's lots of accessibility options there to make things slightly more easier for colourblind people. But I felt like it needed a much more easily readable font to make a lot of that worthwhile. So really odd criticism, I know, but I do quite a lot of this type of stuff as part of my day job. So when I spot something, I'm like, the number 4 does not look like number 4. It's something that is just like a little personal bugbear. But that aside, if you like cuteness, you enjoy match 3 stuff, and you enjoy hearing the ding 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 of Vegas telling you that you've just got a ×10 combo, Princess Farmer could very well be a slightly left field, very cute and inclusive, fun game for you. Written review will be over on higherplayinggames.com this weekend. Any questions or comments, leave them down below. Cheers. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplane-network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.